I could try if you like.
Oh, my boy. Oh, the migraines.
Now I have you.
We may pass into the other world.
Journey, warrior of light.
Let's go. New lands, a new world, a new something. They just had our boy's dead face floating around in the crystal. Just oh, we match. Look at this color scheme. Okay, it's either he is us, we are him, we are rewalking his steps, or this is just like really good narration. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Look at that. Look at the D and the O. What does that mean? That's gotta mean something. Oh, because this is the world of light, right? So the beasts, they're eating those who sin, who corrupt, who are dark. We can surmise that the warriors of darkness, whatever they had done, happened a century ago. Enough to have the ear of Yoshi P in some capacity. I'm gonna be like, hey, pompadours, we need proper representation. Oh! What the? Oh, we're Galgant here. We're not Rogadin. The time works a little bit differently here, right? Do they have a version of the gold saucer? Well, no, this is the last bastion, actually. Never mind. No gold saucer. That's an elf? She's an elf? Oh my god, I suck. They're losing their homes to the flood. Is that what the flood of light, or just a literal flood? They're villains on this world. They are the villains. They are spirits, but also Thancred's naked. Okay, here's the question. Has my gil appreciated in this world?
A standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here.
Damn it. It's a, what? It's a pixie fairy thing.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. What's going on, you generic looking bastard, you? The fact that we can hear each other, or I can hear you, gotta be connected somehow, right?
This world has had its fill of heroes.
Yeah, we're gonna become the villain. We're gonna bring the shadow. In a good way, though. One thing I wanted to talk about was the trailer that we watched. The Shadowbringers trailer. Urianger was talking as if he was talking to Master Matoya, like, oh, what are you gonna do now, Master Matoya, or something like that, right? Our friend Y'shtola, it turned out to be Y'shtola, or at least the avatar of Y'shtola, and I was like, maybe she's carrying on the mantle of Master Matoya. She is the protege. Master Matoya was the master. Maybe something happened to Master Matoya, but thinking of some other alternatives, because we did see the eye in the thing. Maybe Matoya's in the eye. That's my like low hanging, like I'm not very interested in that one theory. Could be a thing. Or what if Y'shtola has consumed the essence of Matoya in some form, like literally, like the ether. Like Matoya has become Y'shtola, or a part of Y'shtola, right? Or has taken on the form of Y'shtola. I told y'all. We're going to the 13th or whatever the world is. That's clearly a world of light. There was a light angel. We gotta fight the light. We need to bring the darkness, because they did too good of a job in bringing the light, and we were doing too good of a job in bringing the light over here in our world. That was the trap that we were falling into. That's why the guy wanted to throw open the gates. He wanted to throw wide the gates to let Eon become instants and let the convergence become non-converged. Next expansion, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon, baby. What is that? Oh, it's the Charlie picture again. I feel like that sometimes, especially with this game. That's me. That's Charlie. We're discovering everything there is to discover. That's what we do here, okay? First quest of Shadowbringers. Good news, Kev. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that bacon. Sounds like we better go and give them a hand. The sooner we find this bacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. It is tedious work. I could have picked the tedious work option, but I'm a go-getter. Let's be on our way. Let's go. All right. Oh, she's off. Oh, hello. I like that they switch it up every expansion. That's pretty cool, right? Is that just me? It seems pretty cool. I like the ambient music here. It sounds very crystally. All right, now we got the battle music, or the pre-battle music. We got Harry Boulder here. Hello, Harry Boulder. I mean, yeah, look at this place. This place looks cool.
Look how many people there are.
Does she have a different voice? I can't tell. Am I tripping?
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour.
Oh, it's the Irish Biggs. Here it is. Same voice? Oh, okay.
Biggs, Wedge.
Are you gaslighting me again? Oh, yeah, the Wedge TATARU plotline.
Jesse called the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being
Yep,
here.
Jesse. Call back to Final Fantasy XIV, right? I think we That was the conclusion, right?
Hard even.
All right, the Wedge TATARU plotline. Will it go anywhere in Shadowbringers?
I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
Let's find the bacon.
Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
Oh, he's gonna look at TATARU and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be brave. I gotta do it, right?
I could try if you like.
Oh, my boy. Rip.
TATARU, no. We couldn't ask you to do that.
This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
That's why I like TATARU. He's willing to do whatever it takes. We found the bacon? Oh.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet. Now that looks promising.
Yeah.
Isn't that the ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Oh, that is a good point. I didn't realize that. I didn't pay it. Yeah, there. Yeah, there's a symbol. The symbol's on there. Oh, the migraines.
Now I have you. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
I know. You've been saying the words.
This must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
All right, we found the bacon.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
That we may pass into the other world.
Journey, warrior of light.
Let's go.
Our friends and bring them home.
This is it. We're just like that. We're going in. That was easy. New lands, a new world, a new something. Believe it. We're finally here, going into Shadowbringers. Astrid said that this dude who's been speaking with us is your favorite character, right? You said your favorite character in the entire game, correct? Oh, look at the pomp. Looking good. We're floating. We're flying. We're letting eons become instant. Let's throw wide the gates.
Now, do not look at me so.
That's our bro. That was our bro. That's the good. There's so many faces all around me, are familiar faces. Na 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 na.
And still it came to this.
Oh, the darkness. Warrior of darkness. This reminded me of the time I took those mushrooms at the planetarium. Oh my god. All right, we're coming in. Crash landing. Right? Oh, they just had our boy's dead face floating around in the crystal. Just Oh.
Time has not yet come.
Oh. Hello, mother. Our time has not yet come. Oh. Look at this. What lands does this look like? I recognize those trees. Those ruins. Oh. Shadow figure. Shadow figure walking. Oh, he's got the axe. Is that the darkness warrior? Oh, are we flashbacking to when they came back to their world here? Well, shit. Oh, we match. Look at this color scheme. Look how well we match the environment here. We are the true epitome of fashion, are we not?
From endless dreams I awake.
Oh, wait.
Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Okay, it's either he is us, we are him, we are rewalking his steps, or this is just like really good narration. Like, to show the parallel between maybe his journey and our current journey here. Or maybe this is our thoughts in that voice. Like his voice, that guy's voice, the mysterious guy. We got a chocobo, we got a person there. Obviously, we gotta go talk to him. Find out what the haps is. What insignia is that? Oh! 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 Wait a minute. Wait.
Where to meet someone out here is not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
What was that dude's name? Was that the guy who picked us up? The guy who we journeyed into, well, Kev journeyed into Ul'dah with on his little cart, and then he pulled us out at the end of A Realm Reborn. Is this version of him? Doesn't it look like him? Am I being crazy? Am I being crazy? Depends on which city I started in, right? Oh wait, is it a different guy depending on which city you started in? You get a different NPC who rescues you? But this guy looks like the one I came with. What do you mean this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
We're obvious. This is the planet of light, consumed by light. This is
And
night.
when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet, he'd reply.
They're triplets. I hate you. I hate you. What was his name though? Are they really triplets? I don't know. I mean, sure. That's him, right?
100 bleeding years ago.
He looks- Okay. It's nighttime. Planet consumed by light. Hence why it's so bright. No, Kev, you're crazy. I'm crazy?
That explains it then.
Dude, look at the ring on that guy. It looks like one of those ring pops. He's got a ring pop. Kev doesn't drink. He's not a drinker. He don't drink alcohol. I had some whiskey last night. It was really good. How poetic.
Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
I gotta go back and look at the guy's face. But how, if it is that guy, or supposed to be akin to that guy, how poetic, right? That's how we entered A Realm Reborn. That's how we left A Realm Reborn. That's how we're entering Shadowbringers on this new world, adjacent to ours in some fashion. The world consumed by light.
Dizzying heights it rises. The gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy.
There's a voice again. Probably just a coincidence. I hate you. I hate you all.
It will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
I love you all. All right. To begin anew, Shadowbringers. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at the D and the O. What does that mean? That's gotta mean something. You do or do not. A D and O means I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But it probably means something. It's fractured, right? It's we gotta make it whole again. Title card. Look at this place. Look at this. We match very well with this place. Look at that. Feel like I'm just entering Skyrim. Oh, there's something up there. There's a thing up there. Wonder what. I like the music.
Halt!
Oh, bunny girl.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not.
Yours, I do not.
This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
Okay. Sure, throw them at me.
From where do you hail?
Her voice actress is so good. Yeah, the Kurt gate guard. We're starting off strong here. From where do I hail? Should I hit it? Should I drop the bomb? I want to see what she says. If I say the source, what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
The source? What is this cryptic nonsense?
Okay, all right.
You chose concealment, and I will not suffer you to pass.
You trying to fight, lady? Oh. Oh, it's the light version of wasn't that the beast that we fought with Thancred way back in A Realm Reborn, like that type of creature? It left behind a thing.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
No, was it the merchant's ring? It looked like a ring pop, right? Was that him? Is that what they're implying here? Or is it a different one? Oh, it was that one.
Everything all right, Captain?
All right, where do I recognize these feats from, right? The sandals? The dude who was speaking to us and telling us to throw wide the gates and everything, he had the similar sandals, the same sandals. The garb looks very similar. Oh, it is him. There it is.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one.
A sin eater. Oh, because this is the world of light, right? So the beasts, they're eating those who sin, who corrupt, who are dark, right? We're all dark, corrupt, sin.
Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more.
Are we going back to Final Fantasy X now? We're talking about sin and all that good stuff. This is a Crystal Exarch. This is your favorite character right here.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known.
Another one. Are we going to be reunited just like that, right off the bat? How does time work here compared to our place? What's the remember the trailer? People look older. They had different wardrobes, but Thancred looked a little beefier and everything.
Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
What is this accent supposed to be based off of? I can't put my finger on it.
I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
Oh, it's Icelandic. Oh, okay. Cool. This place looks dope. Look at that. Also,
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
he's got some scaly stuff going on right here, right? Viera always have Icelandic VO in Final Fantasy. Oh, do they? I feel like I've never like talked to an NPC Viera then. So we're the rude ones. Everyone else.
To bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you're still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief.
We're the rude ones. All the other scions, I mean, eventually, they answered the call. They answered the summon, right? We held out until the very end. Oh, I had a thought.
We come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact.
That's what it is. I thought this was the third. 13th was the one consumed by darkness, correct?
I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
I wonder what is there some like crystal shenanigans going on right here with the you know, the scaly skin and everything? He's the crystal exarch, like I don't know. That's a massive crystal. Are the other scions here? Bring me to them.
That is a question with no simple answer, but all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
Of course it wouldn't be that easy, right?
The world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
I can see that. Oh my god, this is crazy. Now, I had a thought, right? I don't know how long we're going to be in here. Maybe for the entirety of Shadowbringers. Seems possible. Maybe until the last patches or whatever. Is Xenos going to win his throne back on our world? Like, if we ever go back, is he going to be like, my friend, an enemy, but my friend, you want to go to Disneyland? I'm the emperor now. What do you want to do? You want a beer?
It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
It began a century ago, so we can surmise that the Warriors of Darkness, whatever they had done to get to the point where they had defeated their Ashian nemesis and allowed this world to be consumed by light, happened a century ago. So that this old history, semi-old, right? 100 years.
The fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
I'm sure we talked about this before. Did you guys like Final Fantasy X? I had very good memories of Final Fantasy X.
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. Okay.
What are the 7 calamities? Have happened. That means 7 worlds, right, have been kind of consumed to a certain extent, etc. Does that mean, you know, the worlds that are doing okay, is he summoning those heroes here as well? Are they summoning those? I would love to meet the other great heroes. Final Fantasy X, one of my favorite games of all time. I love 10. I played that around middle school time. Good memories with that. I did. You like 10? I love. Yep, 10 was Blitzball. I like 10. It was good. I played 10 for 24 hours without stopping on launch. Oh. No life. I like it.
Though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well.
What if we find other pompadours? All the heroes have pompadours? That would be the best design choice, would that not? I'm not aware of a single knock that uses that ridiculous hairstyle. Oh, NPC. That's what I've been saying. I haven't run into a single NPC that has the pompadour. Not even in the Japanese themed areas did I see an NPC with the pompadour. Because they design characters with class in mind? Clearly not, right? No pompadours. If I ever gain the influence within the Final Fantasy XIV community enough to have the ear of Yoshi P in some capacity, I'm gonna be like, hey, pompadours. We need proper representation.
Vibrant city.
By the way, this place
Sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion.
This place does look cool. Soul Sanctuary. All right, this is the last bastion. Paul, you aren't wrong. Paul is wrong. You're both wrong.
For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Oh. Kind of looking like Amalja, right? This place looks amazing. Oh, look at this place. It's like we're fresh and oh, that's why I had the thing off. They had the UI off. Oh. What the? Hey. Here, I'll give you all the respectful haka of my people. Ah, the haka. Look, it's the Mac Mitten now. Rio, did you change up your look too? You all got new attire on right now? We made it. Oh, that's so sweet. Look at you guys. Hype overload. Hype. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium civic... Did it just get kind of dark in here? Or is that just me? The Crystarium civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and find a connection in the source. Believe it or... Oh. We can go back and forth, maybe? What if we teleport back to our source world? Then we have no way to get back here. Unless we get another migraine. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear, but the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. Oh. I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Oh, I want to peer deeper into that particular mystery now. This is like starting like a brand new game again. It's like you gotta go talk to the NPCs, get the lay of the land here and everything. Welcome, my name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. Our merchants stock a range of equipment for Galgant, such as yourself, Galgant. So finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. Oh, we're Galgant here. We're not Rogadin, right? We're Galgant now? Did you say Galgant? What are the Lalafels called? Aye, something wrong? The Amalja! They're just citizens here. Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a human. That's the hero, right? I don't even remember the base ones too well. I didn't know what Eluzin was. And the taller one is an elf. Thank you. Exactly. But thank you. This is the elf. This is what when I first saw them, I'm like, oh, this is the elf race. This is the elf. Taller one's an elf. The fellow over there is a Galgant, like you. We're gentlemen. We're Galgants, right? Whilst the one with the horns is a Drawn. And the Amalja. And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zune. Okay, I'm gonna forget all of this, I'm sure. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. I'm from the land of the Crystal Exarch, yeah. The same as the Exarch, yeah? Well, that explains it. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. That explains it. Okay, that's the time works a little bit differently here, right? As some of our compatriots arrived here, years had passed, or a large chunk of time has passed until the next one, and then finally a few years. That explains why Thancred looks like a larger man. Everyone got wardrobe changes. They look a little bit older. Makes a ton of sense. Who came in which bulk? Thancred was the first. Probably why he looks the oldest, right? There was the Y'shtola, the Oriangés of the world, right? They came next. That's why they were together in the trailer, right? Because they came at the same time. They were together. The Alphinaud and then the Alisae. Now in the trailer, I don't remember them showing a grown or an aged, presumably maybe like a year then. If Thancred is like a couple years older, then Y'shtola and Oriangé are probably like, I don't know, 1 to 2 years. Alphinaud and Alisae, maybe like up to a year or something. Can they drink now? How can they smoke now? How old are they? I don't know. That's why in the past when I asked how old are these people, you're like, hey, don't worry about it. This is new. Look at these things. These are Amaro. Interesting. Do they have a version of the gold saucer? Well, no. This is the last bastion actually. Never mind. No gold saucer. No gold saucer here. This is the bastion. This is it. This is what you see is what you get here, right? We got a recording note here. This Alig Tech. I wonder what it's called here on this world. But the Ashians, I mean, I guess the Ashians are kind of universal, right? Literally, they seem to be in the know, so they would be called Ashians here, as the Warrior of Darkness called them. But interesting to see that tech over there. Catless Everdeen. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. She's a Hume. No. Yeah, no, she's a Hume, right? Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking. Oh, he's throwing up big barriers and stuff. That's an elf? She's an elf? Oh my god, I suck. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make city life possible. You're so bad at telling which people are Elysian, it's remarkable. I thought, doesn't she look kind of human? Let me see the ears. Just don't go thinking it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those Ilmoran layabouts. Who are the Ilmoran? I forget. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor, you don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Oh. I guess that could apply to some of them, right? Alphinaud, Alisae, maybe Tola, Oriange. Even Thancred's the only one who you look at and be like, all right, this guy's probably like dug a hole somewhere before or something. One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Now look at this. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around his base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. Is that what the flood of light, or just a literal flood? I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. I have zero crafting talent. I haven't touched any of that. Don't count on me. Did this expansion introduce any like new crafting of some sort? There haven't been any new crafting or gathering jobs since 2.0 that I'm aware. And probably never will be. Oh, they're not going to introduce any. What else? What do we have room for? Well, okay, we got 11 classes total, 8 crafting and 3 gathering. Well, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even, a scrap of scribbled on parchment. It's a knowledge seeker. Hey, look at all the books. The library, everything. My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood of light, literal flood, unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. I'm sure there's tons of lore here that would be pretty handy to learn. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, and I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Okay, awesome, little coloring book. All right, we're gonna learn today. This is the Paul of this world. We're gonna be taught. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper. The villains known as the Warriors of Light. Maybe we're doing too good of a job in our world. There are villains on this world. They are the villains. They slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pulled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous, blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We call this calamity the Flood of Light. Okay, not a literal flood. I mean, flood of light, yeah. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving not behind but a luminous wasteland. Oh, yet just when it seemed all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Novrandt, and Novrandt alone spared the fate of erasure. Minfilia. Assuming when she left, did 100 years pass? Given the amount of time that passed between our migraines and our Scion friends coming here, back to the end of Heavensward when Minfilia came back seems applicable, right? Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These look kind of akin to that angel of light that we saw in the trailer. These sin eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from Novrandt's sky. Even now, they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. Yo, this is kind of crazy. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. Interesting. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing, and although I did not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Talking to some of the people here, they said, oh yeah, I've seen travelers like you, people like you. Similar circumstances come over the past couple years. We know time works differently here. That's what I've surmised. Time works differently. Therefore, our companions, they're kind of off. Like they came in groups and they came at different times. And from the time Thancred came to the time we're here, because Thancred was one of the first. He was the first. Pun intended. It's been a couple years. That guy does have a chicken head. Okay. Just like that. The Grahatia is I'm not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know? I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. I realized in the trailer, this guy was reaching his hand. Oh yeah, you can see it, his hand. His hand was just like made of ether crystals. So he's just like part crystal. It's like a part of his body. It's just infused in him. And it looked like a solid hunk of crystal, not like it was just scaled on the outside, looking at the hand, right? He's part crystal, but all heart. Okay, let's remember the facial features here. The chin. He's got a plump lower lip here. The nose, normal looking nose and everything. And then the scale, the crystal body. Can't forget that.
I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow scions.
Yeah, they're off doing shit.
To put it simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source.
Yes, and in this world 100 years ago is when the light began its Armageddon on the world, so to speak, right? That's when the floods and stuff, that was the beginnings of it 100 years ago. So time does flow very different.
In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted.
So that's why Minfilia was a little girl. It could be reverse, right? So
Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
5 years. All right, explains. What about the so Alphinaud and Alisae, like I mentioned, they're probably like a year or so.
Our more recent arrivals, Alphinaud and Alisae, have lived in the first for almost a year.
Oh, our children have done grown up a little bit. Kev's like, what?
My intention had been to summon only you. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well.
Okay. Mistakes happen sometimes.
As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are in truth merely spirits that one can see.
Okay, so they are spirits, but also Thancred's naked again.
While you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
For now, they're stranded here, but if we can somehow just find their way to send their souls back, right? Then they'll just kind of be whole again in our old world. What have they been doing all this time?
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift.
Oh, of course Urianger brings some perspective into this. Good thing TATARU didn't get called, wouldn't have a soul to send back. That's harsh. That's harsh, bro. That's harsh. That's mean. TATARU is precious. How dare you?
What Urianger saw was the future. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source.
Oh.
This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes.
The 8th now. Okay.
Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
Oh. I get it. Endwalker. I get it now, sorta. I mean, I'm sure that it's a different meaning, but if it were to pass.
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours.
Oh, look at our friends here. Look at them.
Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction.
Oh. Oh, we had the best friends.
Nor had their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin-Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity.
Yeah, let's bring some balance back into this world. Let's bring some darkness, some shadow here, right?
I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips.
Maybe this can all end happily.
What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
We still got to get to Endwalker, right? So, you know, there's still some breathing room here for us, at least.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With
Okay.
it settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road.
I need a chocobo. Damn. Listen to this music. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I like it. Tis. TATARU made you a whole new outfit and you still wearing that old fit. shake my head. You believe this is the look that we should be wearing right now. It does hide the pompadour, which is clearly unacceptable. We're gonna be fighting the light. Maybe I'll just make some adjustments to some of our items here. Maybe I'll dye the leather jacket something else.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium.
I like the little guitar or whatever, the little twinge that we're getting.
Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough.
Okay, here's the question. Has my gil appreciated in this world? I mean, especially with the advancement of time and everything. Is my gil worth more than what it was in the past? Or has inflation destroyed everything? What's going on?
Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood.
This music that they're playing right now sounds like classic Final Fantasy XIV, or Final Fantasy like music. This just sounds like Final Fantasy, you know what I mean? One has to have gil for it to be worth more. I have gil. I have almost 700,000 gil, I think. But doesn't this just sound like vintage, like kind of Final Fantasy? You know what I mean?
From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter.
Damn it. You're telling me I ain't richer here than I was back? All right.
Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
No idea what that is. What is that? Is that a phone? It kind of looks like a phone, doesn't it? Wait, what the hell is that? Richer? Yeah, I could be richer. What is that thing? Oh, those are tombstones. Oh, I'm a sprout.
Avan Kerm Sin?
Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
It's a what? It's a pixie fairy thing.
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task.
Feo Ul, I love you. Do you love Feo Ul more than Sadu and Fordola or what?
We have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
But get it? To ferry things back and forth from all three are equal? That's a cop-out answer.
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift? What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do.
If I were to remove this stone from this person's chest, would this, or from this pixie's chest, would this pixie cease to exist or cease to live?
After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin.
We're gonna make a pact with the This is our Navi? To rank a thing is not to love it. It is so coveted.
Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
Are you a poet now or what?
From this moment forth, I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak.
We got a Brisney fish and we became a Fayetch.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling.
Oh, we're bound. Okay.
Come then, make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
I mean, I was just back there at the Gold Saucer. I could tell him. Yeah, sure. Could do it. TATARU, go tell TATARU. Send a message to TATARU.
Consider it done.
Look, I love Crowd too, but come on. Let's send a message to TATARU here. All right, we signed a pact with a pixie pact. Oh, look at this room. The rooms here beat all the rooms everywhere else. Yeah, these rooms are so much nicer than what we got back on the source. We even got a little fruit basket and everything here too. I hope nothing's poisoned. Oh, look at that view. Let's see if we can make a Pompadour of Darkness outfit here. You? Oh. Hey, bud. I thought it was your voice calling us all along.
You're the warrior of light from the source.
I am. And I did learn that these guys were regarded as villains in this world for what they did in causing these this light Armageddon here. They're revered as villains. Oh, his axe is all bloodied. And who are you? Now I know who you are. The warrior of darkness.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. What's going on, you generic looking bastard, you?
Oh, gods, how long has it been?
For me, it's been an expansion, pretty much in a full expansion. I don't know how much time passed, but for you, it's been like 100 years plus.
My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source, a daft one, looking back.
Ardbert. Hello, Ardbert. Ardbert, the fierce warrior of darkness, Ardbert. It's good to see you, man. Like I said, I thought his voice was the one calling us this whole time, but it's not. But his axe is bloody, so he's a ghosty of some sort.
It was my comrades and I who caused the flood.
Excuse me. And you were regaled as villains. The villains of this world, causing the flood that happened 100 years ago, learning a lot of things from the tour here. And then Minfilia came.
We thought our home doomed, and so we listened to the Asians, let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor.
His VO is from Game of Thrones too. Oh, let me see if I can recognize it.
I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the first. The flood was poised to swallow Novrandt.
Gendry. Oh, I can hear it now. Gendry. Oh, it's the Gendry.
Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness.
Yeah. So, like we surmised, towards the end of Stormblood, they failed. Even with Minfilia, Minfilia came back.
Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
100 plus.
100 long years.
Yeah. Damn, man. That's tough. His pet goldfish is long dead. True.
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear.
We gotta help our bud out. This is no way to...
Cursed to do naught but drift.
This is no way to spend the rest of his days.
I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. Felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room.
I mean, the fact that we can hear each other, or I can hear you, gotta be connected somehow, right?
Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
It's a long story, bro. Long story.
You were summoned to save the first. This world is beyond saving. Like those who tried to save it.
Hey, don't be a Debbie Downer.
But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured.
You can be my guide of
If I
sorts.
can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Yeah, we're gonna become the villain. We're gonna bring the shadow. In a good way, though. That's kind of like, you know, invasion of privacy, right? And if he's gonna just be watching all the time. We are now becoming the Warrior of Darkness.
How did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
Dude, the quarters here in this place? 10 times better than the quarters here in the source. That's for sure. I had a ghostly visitor. Yeah, let's talk about the Warrior of Darkness in the room.
Should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
That's it? Out of all the crazy things like happening in this world, it sounds like he's kind of just like, oh, it doesn't sound important, right? The Warrior of Darkness.
This map shows the lands of Novrandt, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
Okay, if my skills were sharp enough, I could remember the map at the source and kind of see how it compares. This means nothing to me. It looks like, I don't know, Far East. All right, we'll see.
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lake.
Lakeland? Oh, where's Lake? I'm missing Lake. Hold on, let me take a picture of this. I gotta send it to Lake. I gotta check in on our buddy.
To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger.
Oh, of course Urianger is in the fairy kingdom.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak'tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
Rak'tika, okay. Ishtola over there, Urianger in Fairyland.
Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty.
What about Thancred? What about, say, Alphinaud? No idea?
As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium.
Okay.
Alphinaud is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness.
From the trailer. That's where they had the fat cats, right? Are the fat cats eating like grapes and things? Okay, so first of all, they made it sound like this was like the last bastion of just like civilization, you know? But turns out, no, fat cat, rich people over here.
Alphinaud journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. Alisae, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang.
No, this place sounds deadly.
They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters.
Okay, this is the very edge here, civilization.
Alisae felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard. So, will it be Calicia or Armorang? But you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters.
Okay, so Thancred is a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters, new companion, Minfilia, from the trailer, right? Gotta be.
I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Yeah, we're drawn to each other. We'll run into Thancred. Question is, should we go visit Alisae or Alphinaud first? Who do y'all vote for? Let me know what you think.